friends. We are going to talk about using a strategy called make a 10 to add numbers. This is a 10 frame. We call it a 10 frame because there are 10 cells or 10 squares inside the frame. We use it as a model to help us show what numbers mean, and they also help us count. Look at this 10 frame that's full of fish. We know that there are 10 fish because the frame is full. We don't have to count because when a 10 frame is full, we know that there are 10. But just to be sure, let's look at each cell and count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, there are 10 fish in the 10 frame. In this 10 frame, there are 9 fish. This 10 frame is not full, so we know that there are not 10 fish. There are 9 fish. How many more fish do we need to make the 10 frame full? Well, we can see that there's only one empty square, so we know that we only need to add one more fish. And we can think about it like this. The 9 blue fish plus the 1 yellow fish equal 10. The 9 blue fish and the 1 yellow fish make the 10 frame full. So now we have 10. Before we had 9, we added 1, and now we have 10. This frame has 8 fish. How many more fish do we need to make the frame full, or to make 10 fish? We need 2 more fish. 8 plus 2 equals 10. The 8 blue fish and the 2 yellow fish together make 10. The frame is full, so now we have 10 fish altogether. This frame has 7 blue fish. How many fish do we need to add to the frame to fill it up, or to make 10? We need to add 3 more fish to make the frame full. 7 blue fish and 3 yellow fish altogether make 10 fish. 7 plus 3 equals 10. This frame has 6 fish. How many fish do we need to add to the frame to make 10, or to make it full? We need to add 4 fish to fill the 10 frame. 6 plus 4 equals 10. 6 blue fish and 4 yellow fish fill the frame to make 10 fish altogether. We can use 2 10 frames to show numbers that are more than 10. Notice the 10 frame with the blue fish. It's full, so we know there are 10 blue fish. And the other 10 frame only has 1 yellow fish. So altogether we have 10 blue fish and 1 yellow fish. And when we put those together, we have 11. So this model using 2 10 frames shows a value more than 10. This model shows 2 10 frames. One 10 frame is full of blue fish. The other frame has 2 yellow fish. So we can think about it like this: 10 and 2 more. 10 and 2 more equals 12. So this model shows 12. Look at this model. We have a full 10 frame with blue fish. So we know that there are 10 blue fish. The other frame has 3 yellow fish. So we can think about it like this: 10 and 3 more. 10 and 3 more is 13. One full 10 frame and 3 more fish equal 13 fish altogether. This model shows 2 10 frames. One 10 frame is full of blue fish, so we know there are 10 blue fish. The other 10 frame is not full. It has 4 fish. So when we put all the fish together, we think 10 and 4 more. 10 and 4 make 14. There are 14 fish altogether. We can use models like this to help us add quickly. In this model, I see 9 blue fish and 2 yellow fish. Well, there are lots of strategies that we can use to figure out what the total number of fish might be. In this model, we're going to think about filling up one of our 10 frames. Well, the 10 frame with the blue fish is the closest to being full. So we're going to move some of our yellow fish over to fill the blue fish frame. When we do that, we now have 10 fish in the full frame and 1 fish in the other frame. So when we think about this, we can say that 9 plus 2 is really the same thing as 10 plus 1. We didn't add or take away any fish, we just moved them around. So now that we have a full 10 frame, it's easy for us to count because we know that's 10. And we also know that 10 plus 1 more is 11. And since we didn't add or take away any fish, we just moved them around, we know that because 10 plus 1 is 11, 9 plus 2 is also 11. This model shows 8 blue fish and 4 yellow fish. If we use the make a 10 strategy to figure out how many fish there are altogether, I need to move some of my fish around to fill up a 10 frame. Well, the blue fish frame is closest to being full, so I'm going to move some of my yellow fish over to the blue fish frame. I need 2 yellow fish because there are 2 empty cells in the blue fish frame. When I do that, now that frame is full and I know that there are 10 fish in that frame. When I look over to the other frame, I can see that there are only 2 fish left in that frame. So that means that 8 plus 4 is the same thing as 10 plus 2. And we know that 10 plus 2 is 12. So if 10 plus 2 is 12, 8 plus 4 is also 12. This model shows 7 blue fish plus 4 yellow fish. I want to fill the blue fish frame so that I have 10 fish in that frame. And when I do that, that leaves only 1 yellow fish in the original 4. I can look at that and easily tell that 7 plus 4 is the same thing as 10 plus 1. 10 plus 1 is 11. So 7 plus 4 is also 11. This model shows 8 plus 5. 8 blue fish plus 5 yellow fish. If we continue to use the make a 10 strategy with our 10 frame, we will move yellow fish over into the blue fish frame. How many yellow fish do I need to move? That's right. I need to move 2 yellow fish. When I move 2 yellow fish over, I now have 10 fish in the first frame. Well, I don't have 5 fish in the second frame anymore because I moved 2 of them over. Now I have 3 fish left in that frame. I can look at this model and easily tell that we have 10 fish and we have 3 fish. 10 and 3 is 13. That's the same thing as 8 plus 5, 13. In this model, I see 6 blue fish and 5 yellow fish. This model shows us 6 plus 5. I want to fill one of my frames so that I have 10 fish in the frame. 6 is closer to being full than 5, so we will fill the blue fish frame. I will move 4 yellow fish over into the blue fish frame to fill it up. Now I have 10 fish in that frame. When I moved my yellow fish over, I had 1 fish left in the yellow fish frame. I know that 10 plus 1 is 11. So if 10 plus 1 is 11, 6 plus 5 is also 11. This model shows 9 plus 3. 9 blue fish plus 3 yellow fish. I want to fill my blue fish frame so that there are 10 fish. I'll move one of my yellow fish over. When I do that, I now have 10 fish in the first frame and 2 fish in the next frame. 10 and 2 is 12. If 10 and 2 equal 12, 9 plus 3 also equal 12. Remember, we didn't add or take away any fish to the total, we just moved them around. So the total number of fish stays the same. This model shows 9 blue fish plus 5 yellow fish. I want to fill the blue fish frame. In order to do that, I need to move 1 yellow fish over. If I do that, I'll then have a full 10 frame and some more in the other frame. How many fish will I have left in the yellow frame? If I move 1 fish over, I will have 10 fish in the first frame and 4 fish in the next frame. That's 10 and 4. 10 plus 4 equals 14. If 10 plus 4 equals 14, we also know that 9 plus 5 equals 14. Because we didn't add or take away any of the fish from the total, we just moved them around. There are lots of strategies that we can use when adding numbers. Today, in this video, we made 10 to add so that adding was easier.